Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tommy Maroon Sports Show, episode 254, right here on WCTV. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Guardians because, yep, they won the division. Yep, they got the first round off. Yep, things are looking upward for the Guardians. The 12th division championship in the history of the Guardians, and all of them been since 1995. Second time in the last 3 years, and second time in this decade, of course. Third playoff berth in the last 5 years, which means the third playoff berth in the last decade, including the COVID season, of course. Stephen Vogt won the division his first year as manager. They did it without Shane Bieber, too. How about that? And without Stephen Kwan for a considerable amount of the season. Guards winning the division for almost the entirety of the season will have a first-round bye for the first time since 2017, the year of the 22-game winning streak. And they had home field advantage, of course. Bullpen's doing their job, and hopefully the October will be something worth noting. Yes, sir. Time to look at the series recaps. It was a lot of interleague play. First Guardians-Cardinals, where the Guardians lost 2-1. Of course, that's Busch Stadium behind them. Jose Ramirez homered to Game 1. That was number 36. Spent a lively 5 innings in Game 1. Jose Ramirez hit number 37 in Game 2. Helsley for the Cardinals had a save in Games 2 and 3. And Austin Hedges had the lone RBI in Game 3 for the Guardians. Then this one against the Rays, my goodness, it's just been going swimmingly for them. Sweeping the lowly Rays this season, who have really taken a bit of a regression this year. Tanner Bybee, 7 innings in Game 1. Wayne Thomas homered and had 3 RBIs in Game 1. Stephen Kwan had a leadoff home run in Game 2 in his first game back. But the story was that the Guardians had 6 perfect innings. And then the Reds bunted to break it up. I mean, it didn't matter because regardless of what happened, Jose Ramirez his 38th home run of the season out to right. And Emmanuel Clase set the single-season record for saves in a season with 47. So if Jose Ramirez gets 2 more home runs, he will join the likes of Alfonso Soriano as the only man in MLB history to have a 40-40-40 season. 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, 40 doubles. All right. As we continue this, it's a weekend series against the Houston Astros. Joey Cantillo on the mound Game 1. Game 2 been lively. And the third and final game of the season, or third and final game of the series and season, we don't know who will be pitching for the Guardians. But what we do know is that the Guardians are only half a game back of the Yankees. Oh my goodness, half a game back of the Yankees. I'm hoping that the Yankees fall in the weekend series. Who they got? Ooh, they got the Pirates. So looks like the Guardians will have to sell with a 2 seed more than likely. Oh well. Tommy's picks. Let's look at that. Highland against Talmadge, Fox 8 game of the week. Yeah, that was not really a game of the week. It was a 49-0 beatdown. All points in the first half. Avon took down my upset of the week, North Ridgeville, 38-7. Amherst still really won a barn burner against Brea Mid-Park, 60-41. And Aurora, they took down Copley pretty easily, 49-12. Actually, not 49-14. That was 49-12. Oh well. Barberton did it. They got their first win of the season. They did against the lowly Roosevelt team at Roosevelt, 17-3. And Wadsworth trounced Brecksville 56-14. Nordonia still undefeated, just like Wadsworth, 46-7. How about Brunswick? They picked up their first win of the season with a 27-21 win over the Medina Bees. Mentor's still undefeated. They beat Cleveland Heights 35-27. And the Hoban Knights, they beat St. Ignatius pretty easily, which is unsurprising, 45-14. Washington beat Eds at Lakewood, 31-21, courtesy of a big touchdown run at the end of the game. Walsh shut out Firestone 49-0. What else happened? Benedictine beat Shaker Heights 39-7. Avon Lake edges out a win over Midview 24-17. Strongsville beat Euclid 42-0. What else happened, you might be wondering? Well, I'll tell you what else will happen. Stowe beat Thorn, their second win of the season, 21-19. Olmsted Falls pitched a shutout against the Pioneers, 42-0. Rocky River beat Lakewood 42-27. Valley Forge, they pick up a win over the Demons, 55-28. And North Olmsted, their first win of the season over the lowly Normandy Invaders, 28-13. D3 football, we are 3-0, start off the season for the first time since 2012. Doing it against a pretty weak Capital team, but still, we made quick work out of them. Cortland beat Susquehanna in a comeback win, 40-38. And Mount Union was down at the half. Unfortunately, they came back and did their thing, which is disappointing. And what's not disappointing was that my upset of the week was correct. Barry 28, Randolph-Macon 24. Wheaton took down Augustana pretty easily, 42-3. Catholic beat Morrisville State 28-27. Christopher Newport beat Gettysburg 54-37. The Lions beat Albion 41-14. DePaul over Worcester 51-14. Ohio Wesleyan, my goodness, the battling Bishops. You talk about a blowout, 74-0 over the Yeomen of Oberlin. The Hanover Panthers beat Olivet 56-14. Marietta beat Muskingum 51-14. No, Marietta beat Otterbein 51-14. Muskingum beat Wilmington down in Wilmington 42-13. Muskingum's also 3-0. Ohio Northern 52, Heidelberg 27. Trine won over Bluffton 52-20, similar score. Geneva beat Teal 21-6, and Westminster beat Allegheny by a final score of 42-7. In FBS football was Illinois coming up with a win over Nebraska in overtime, 31-24. And Clemson dominated North Carolina State despite winning by only 24. All their points came in the first three quarters, of course. Florida won. They beat Mississippi State. That's not Mississippi, Mississippi State. I beg your pardon. 45-28. Cincinnati shut out Houston 34-0. West Virginia, the Mountaineers 32. Jayhawks 28. Michigan scored a late touchdown courtesy of a big fourth down run right side. I think it was actually fourth down when they got the touchdown, I think. 27-24 over USC at the Big House. OSU, they beat UCLA 34-17 in Notre Dame, taking down the Red Hawks 28-3. Louisville beat Georgia Tech 31-19. Arkansas took down the Auburn Tigers 24-14. What also happened, you might be wondering. Utah, Oklahoma State. Utah won that 22-19. And what else? Miami beat USF 50-15. Florida State got their first win of the season. About time, they say. 14-0. Western Kentucky beat Toledo. How about that? 26-21. Tennessee beat Oklahoma 25-15. And Iowa beat Minnesota 31-14. In the NFL on Thursday night, the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3. And the Giants beat the Browns. Oh my God, that was bad. That was bad. That was very bad. Oh my goodness. Daniel Jones and Malik Neighbors looked like, oh, I don't know, Montana Rice, Brady Gronk, I don't know, Mahomes, Kelsey, because they were so dominant all game long, especially Malik Neighbors, who had 2 touchdowns, and Daniel Jones found a good weapon out there. We'll see if he can capitalize them on the rest of the season, Colts beat the no-offense Chicago Bears 21-16. Got my upset of the week. Got my lock of the week wrong because the Broncos beat the Buccaneers 26-7. But anyways, the Vikings won 34-7 over Houston. Eagles narrowly got a win 15-12 over the Saints. Steelers are 3-0. They do it with a win over the Chargers 20-10. Packers beat the Titans 30-14. How about Carolina? They will not go 0-17. Andy Dalton did it. He beat the Raiders 36-12. Or 36-22, rather. Seahawks beat the Dolphins 24-3. Lions beat the Cardinals 2013. And Ravens picked up their first win with the 28-25 win over Dallas. Rams beat the Niners. Chiefs Falcons, courtesy of some pretty questionable calls once again by the refs. Oh, I don't know, probably because they were rigging it for the Chiefs like they always do. Bills beat Sucksonville, who's really regressing out there, 47-10, Monday night beatdown. And the Commies beat Cincinnati. You kidding me? They're 0-3 now, Cincinnati, the Bengals or Bungles or whatever you want to call them. Anyways, Tommy's picks time. High school football. Highland's going to beat Barberton. We all know that. Amherst Steel against Avon Lake. That should be a good game, actually. Amherst Steel is 5-0. I think they're going to go to 6-0 once this game ends or once tomorrow night ends. Give me them, in my opinion. What else is out there? Buckeye against Valley Forge. I'm going with the Buckeye Bucks. So there is that. North Olmsted will be my upset over Lakewood. I don't know why, but that's what I'm thinking. And North Ridgeville, my lock of the week against Elyria. Olmsted Falls against Avon. Got to go with the Eagles, sadly. And that will beat Glenville, which is tonight at BW, the Finney Stadium. Walsh will beat Benedictine. North Royalton against Padua. I got to go with the Bears. Or the Bruins. Bears-Bruins. Didn't realize that, but the Bears. Holy Name against Lake Catholic. Going with the Cougars. Aurora will trounce Cuyahoga Falls. And Rodonia will trounce Twinsburg. And Wadsworth Hudson should be a good game, but I got to go with the Grizzlies. They're home. Solon against Harding. Picking Harding. Strongsville, Cleveland Heights. Going with Cleveland Heights. Midview, Berea, Midpark. Going with the Middies. They'll bounce back. Stowe will pick up a win over Brecksville, who will still be eyeing their first win. Medina will get their second win this season with a win over Euclid. Hoover over Glen Oak. Green against McKinley. I'm going with the Bulldogs. Which Bulldogs? The Green Bulldogs. I just realized they're both the Bulldogs. D3 football. Mountain Union struggled last week. We did not. We did not struggle the week prior. And we did not struggle the week prior. I'm going upset. We're going to do it. I think we have good odds. They are a beatable team, the Evil Empire, Darth Vader and the gang. Bethel against St. John's, going with the Johnnies. River Falls will beat Mount St. Joe's. DePauw's my lock of the week over Oberlin. John Carroll, I think, will beat Heidelberg. Denison will beat Hiram. Catholic over Alfred. What else? Kenyon against Worcester, going with the Owls. Marietta will beat Capital. Ohio Northern will win their game. I have Capital on there twice. I apologize. Franklin against Ohio Wesleyan. Go Ohio Wesleyan. Milliken will beat Augustana. Olivet over Adrian. Westminster beats Steel Case. They're getting some votes in the top 25. They're not in it yet, but I think they'll beat Geneva. Kalamazoo over Calvin. CMS over Cal Lutheran. And Chapman over Redlands. Time for FBS football. Rutgers, Washington. Gotta go with the Huskies. Ole Miss, Kentucky. Kentucky put up a good fight against the Bulldogs a little while ago, but I think that Ole Miss is going to pick up the win. Minnesota's my upset against Michigan. Michigan's been struggling this season. They don't have their guy counter Stallions, so I think they're going to lose. Oklahoma State against Kansas State. Got to go with the Cowboys. USC will beat Wisconsin. Notre Dame, Louisville. I'm going with the Irish. UCF against Colorado. I think primetime is going to meet his match out here. Got to go with the Knights. Ohio against Akron. Got to go Bobcats. Block of the week right here. Eastern Michigan over, who do you call them? The always rough and tough Kent State Flashes, even though they're not rough or tough this year. So forget everything I just said. North Carolina will beat Duke. Ohio State will beat Michigan State. Forgot to mention Ohio State's number 3 in the country. Alabama, Georgia. Georgia's probably going to destroy Alabama because this is what they always do. Always struggle to unranked teams. Then against ranked teams, they just dominate. Make it make sense. Kalen DeBoer will get his first loss as an Alabama coach to Georgia, which was also Nick Saban's first loss as head coach at Alabama back in 2007. Penn State will beat Illinois. SMU against Florida State. Got to go with the Mustangs. Washington State can upset Boise. And Oregon will take care of UCLA. In the NFL tonight, it's the Giants against the Cowboys. Going with the Cowboys. Falcons, Saints. Panthers will beat Cincinnati. And Andy Dalton is going to beat his former team, and that's going to be super funny. Rams will beat the Bears because the Bears have no offense and Caleb Williams doesn't look that good. Vikings will beat the Packers. Texans are my lock of the week over Sucksonville. Colts over the Steelers. Gotta go Steelers. Jets against Broncos. Going Jets. Buccaneers will beat the Eagles. Cardinals will beat the Commies. And Niners over Patriots. Chiefs will somehow struggle to the Chargers, but the refs will bail them out with a win. Raiders will unfortunately beat the Browns because us Browns fans can never have anything good in life, as I always like to say. Bills over Ravens. Titans will upset the Dolphins. And the Lions will upset the Seahawks. Or will beat the Seahawks. Or maybe an upset. I mean, it is 3-0 against 2-1. So you never know. And it is at in Seattle up in the Pacific Northwest. So there is that. You know what there also is? There's a volleyball game tonight on WHBW, which if you're watching this now, you probably know the outcome of it. Featuring the Highland Hornets and the Thomas Blue Devils. It's senior night, so you know what that means. It's going to be a good one. And then, of course, tomorrow, football against Barberton. The next day, it'll be football against the Evil Empire. So, big games coming up here on YouTube. Subscribe. And subscribe to WCTV. Until next time, I'm Tommy Maroon, thanking you for watching. So long.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.